Who is this girl I see? Who? Me? Of course, it was me the whole time. Kawaii desu. Do you know what it means? If you didn't before, you soon may. Except that, maybe not. But either way, this video is special, Berserkos. We're finally going to be talking about the most important aspect of Berserk. Which waifu is more, nay, most, kawaii? That's right, best waifu. And no, this isn't really a joke video. I've had enough schnoz posts for one lifetime. It's an actual discussion of what waifu I would personally consider zettai ni saiko to machigai naku motomo kawaii desu. So, the first waifu we're going to be talking about is Donovan. What? Oh, you almost got me, brain. I'm not falling for it this time. Dongelvin, hit the road. Up for actual first is Slan. Is there any argument toward this devilish, devil? She's like Iro Poi and whatnot, but God, is she a bad waifu. Waifus are supposed to be loving, caring, and the good one. And here Slan is slashing guts in his astral grief bone. Sorry, Slan, you gotta hit the road. Bye-bye, crazy lady. Okay, now the real contenders. I'm not gonna be able to dive into every or even most attributes these ladies bring to the table, but I'll try to hit on the important ones. The lovely non-males are Lucca, Jill, Nina, record scratch. Who in balls put this crack whore on the list? She literally had her big titty peasant BF sent off a cliff. Bye-bye, crazy lady. Okay. Shilka, Isma, Casca, Farnese, Charlotte, Sonia, Griffith, obviously, and Zod. What? You didn't know Zod wasn't packing? Did you see his nude figure the first time Guts came in contact with him? Why was he naked then anyway, for actual? I'm leaving Erica out cause too young. Flora cause too dead. Ivarella cause too elf. Morda cause too no thanks. Rosine cause too dead as well. Flowerstorm Queen cause too new. Femi Apostle cause also dead, believe it or not. And any other minor character. Besides Kuka, of course. Okay, so those are the contenders. Let's dive into their respective waifuiness in Best Berserk Waifu. Lucca Appearance. Lucca is a young woman of average height who is often noted to be attractive. She has long brown hair that she parts down the middle, though she often allows a single lock of it to fall across her face and to one side of her nose, much like Rukia Kuchiki from Soul Society. That's what Wikipedia says anyway, and I'd have to agree. But let's put her looks aside. She's the mother figure to many young girls and even looked after a newly potatoed Casca with the protection levels of a mother lion. Lucca is just an all-around great gal, even if she was a prostitute. And that brings me to the main point of this video. Why is prostitution bad anyway? If someone wants to sell out their body for record scratch. No, I remember now. The point of this video is love, and Lucca has loads of it. Even someone like Nina, who doesn't deserve a lick of affection, is shown the love of Lucca. So, while her judgment might be at fault, she is obviously one of the most loving characters in Berserk, and I was stupid to put her so soon in this video, because she's clearly number one. Or is she? Next up is Jill, and maybe most out of everyone else is considered an average Berserk fan's waifu. At least, that's what I tend to see. And hey, I can dig it. Aside from being like 13 years old, Jill is a quality gal. Even whilst having an abusive father, she isn't afraid to speak her mind. What? It's true. One can't help but feel for her in this position. She was a very useful damsel, and even asked to accompany Guts in the aftermath of all that pest control stuff. But Guts knew she'd make a good waifu for some young lad in the near future, and she wouldn't be able to do that if she were dead. Naturally, he made her stay. So that's Jill, and maybe we'll see her again in the future. Speaking of leaving girls behind at fear for their safety, Shirko obviously doesn't fall under that category. Guts lets her tag along with him no big deal, so that might point toward her not being great waifu material, but in my book, she definitely proves otherwise. She always has Guts' back, often literally. She has been the only thing keeping Guts' sanity in check in recent and not so recent past. If not for her, the rest of the gang may very well have been chopped in half by a ravenous dogger by now. I'm gonna call you guys doggers from now on. Hi dogger, there's a dog hand here. She's still a wee lass as well, but when her and Isidro grow up, she could be his the good one. Unless you ship something other than Ishirkajuro? Maybe you ship something like Isidzuma? Interesting. Izma has only proven her worth in very few instances, yet in these instances she has been most waifu boy of them all. Torn past and bright future. I don't know about you, but I ship Ismazjiro most of all. Maybe she'll make even more of a name for herself in the future, but even as of right now she has that whimsical innocence and adventurous spirit that's just absolutely necessary to some people. Could that only grow with time? All I'm saying is she came in strong when the story was flat, and she made a big impression in the waifu portion of my brain, with minor exception. See, I need more bigger muscles and tougher fightiness. Enter Casca, the arguably most important character in the whole series. The once great warrior of Midland, under the lead of Griffith, and side by side to Guts, our favorite man, Casca. The reason for literally everything happening right now, the past 10 volumes, and the 10 plus volumes prior to that. The reason Guts has gone through the turmoil he has, and the reason Guts has brought 9/10 of his party along with him, to lands unknown and experiences unforeseen. Death's grip at the mercy of fate. Some members of which may have ulterior motives, and some may just like sticking around an adventure source. But there are some genuinely wishing to help Guts in his journey for the one woman that doesn't contribute a god dang thing. And this is the woman we're supposed to consider Guts' waifu. Does her past character's self deserve this amount of effort? Does her lasting memory on Guts and her potential return warrant all of this madness? Absolutely it does. Casca was a B-word at times, sure, but who isn't? Guts was a B-word 24/7 back in the day, and we still all loved him. It's the times they both heroed their way through the B-wordiness that counts toward anything, right? She led the Hawks through an almost impossible situation, lest they all be murdered by the army under that gross king guy. Remember him? Fudge, was he gross? Let me talk about grossness for a sec. Don't be gross, okay guys? There are ungross things to do, and then there's gross things, okay? Don't do the gross ones. Moving along. She's proved herself a leader, went to rescue her leader for a little bit of love, baby, into a literal hole of death. Was she a tough nut for Guts to bust? Well, yeah, but behind her rough exterior is a real life person. Only one drawn into a book. The realest waifu I've seen in a non-real life scenario, by far. And that's what we all want out of a waifu, yes? A real person, right? Oh, no. You all want stuff like this. I forgot. Jesus, button your pants back up and let's finish out this list. By the way, since I do have more to say on Casca, I'll be having a character analysis type video on her in the future. Okay, now that your hands are where I can see them, let's take a look at Farnese de Vendemion. Jesus, is this girl hard to read. Whew. So, for starters, God no. First time meeting her, there was maybe one lick of sympathy, and the rest of licks were with a whip. And after that pyro stuff, oh man, I didn't have any hopes for her at all as a waifu. But now? Well, now? Yeah, just maybe. If anyone's made a transformation besides, Casca, it's Farnese. Because, I don't know about you, but like I hinted to one actual second ago, I hated this POS. But by God, how she's become more waifu. Out of the not so blue, due to circumstances causing her sympathetic revelation, she has become caring and humble. A change that had never happened in a million years in the real world, mind you, but very awesome nonetheless. She became the protect of Casca, and even when faced with fear, defended her at risk of death. The lengths she, as well as previously mentioned Shirka, have gone to are incredible. And while her main drive may be crushing on Guts in the background, it's your watch. You're our shield. She definitely still cares for the others around her. At least, that's the impression I'm given. And that's fairly ballertastic of her, if I might say. I'd say she's a true contender for best waifu. But let's mosey onward. Charlotte. She's a daft damsel if I ever did discern one. I'm kinda sympathetic to her for being in the blinding light of he who must not be named, but not enough to really consider her a good waifu. I mean, good waifus aren't blind sheep, sorry to say. I'm all for sheep, but this wool is a little too thick for my taste. Sonia, though, a different story entirely. What a cool girl. She's obviously the Luna Lovegood of Berserk, but with an extra dimension of being friggin' inspiring as all heck. Now, perhaps unfortunately, there's not much here to push her over the edge of some of these other girls and gals. But when Waifu Poll 2 comes around, she may eclipse the whole darned thing. Alright, moving on to the last two. Griffith. Ooh, nope. And Zod was a joke that I had no follow-up to, so without further ado, the best waifu in all of the Berserker-verse is absolutely and unequivocally Cucca. Oh, I mean Shirka. Waifu 1.0 winner extraordinaire. Yep, haha, yep. Time after time has she proven herself. Time after time has she cuted her way to the forefront of Berserk. A name of which should imply the exact opposite of this non-Berserk little witch, but you know, that's very okay with me. She's only gonna get better too. When she's older and Waifu Poll 2.0 comes around, she's still probably gonna win. And at that point, it won't actually be weird of me to say so. She's brave, she's thoughtful, she's smart, and she's capable as all Hölle, pardoning my German. Hats off to you. Isidro totally doesn't deserve her. Yet! Best Berserk Gaifu. First on the list is Record Scratch. Berserk, yeah, that's not this video. Thanks for tuning in, Berserkos. Berserk is resuming 22nd of this month. Heck yeah. Mihira, you the realest MVP. By a schnoz hand.